This is dangerous territory, people, because today we are making a video about Tyler Myers and the notion that he has not yet made his decision on a trade to the Detroit Red Wings. This is dangerous because he could very well accept a trade at any point in the next few minutes, hours, or even days, which will invalidate the information that we're talking about here. But we're going over the latest scoop because Tyler Myers was held out of last night's Vancouver Canucks game for trade-related reasons. And I wanted to give a big shout out over to Taj because he went out there and tweeted a whole bunch of the extra info from yesterday and from today that gives us the scoop as to where it is Tyler Myers could be heading. Spoiler alert, turns out the Detroit Red Wings are making a pitch. Myers has yet to say yes. Take a look at this tweet from earlier this morning. It's a Donnie and Dolly quote from Rick Dollywall. The Detroit Red Wings have stepped up with an offer the Canucks like. Dallas, Colorado, and Anaheim have interest as well. Top reply's kind of funny here. Oh yeah, no. The Red Wings have stepped up with an offer for Myers packaged with Elias Pettersson. Okay, maybe that's not going to happen right away, at the very least. If Pettersson gets traded, I would see it more so as an off-season thing rather than a now thing. But Detroit, they have stepped up with an offer. Let's continue. You had some comments made from Vancouver Canucks players about a potential Tyler Myers trade. This tweet from Trevor Beggs goes out there and shows what Evander Kane said last night after the fact. It's been good to have Myers, one of the few older guys that we have on the roster, and one of the few Canadian guys. It's been nice having him as a teammate. It's kind of interesting that Evander Kane straight up mentions that having a Canadian guy is a nice thing for this team, and the implication that trading one of them away is not great. Is Evander Kane setting himself up to get moved as well? Well, we kind of already know that Kane was on the market, that the Canucks are shopping this guy. They would like to have him off of the team by the time the trade deadline next week comes and goes. So, Evander Kane, no surprises here. He's also been a very vocal, outspoken dude, so it's normal for him to go out there and express his thoughts like that. Furthermore, you had Brock Besser speaking out about the potential Tyler Myers trade, courtesy of an article from Ian McIntyre on Sportsnet. Brock said that losing Myers will suck. Such a good guy. A great guy for the young guys. He deserves the chance to go win a cup. I just hope he chooses the right team. Detroit, man. Can they go out there and win themselves a Stanley Cup? Well, we have ourselves some extra info. Take a look at this. Elliot Friedman said on the Fan 590 hockey show, the Canucks had a legitimate offer yesterday from Detroit, but it wasn't something that Myers was crazy about. There were people last night that felt it was unlikely he would waive for Detroit. We'll see how it develops. Elliot adds that things can change with one phone call, but the Canucks understood that Myers would not be rushed into a decision. Next up, Thomas Drance on Canucks Talk earlier this afternoon mentions that the Wings' offer is a second-round pick. He hasn't confirmed that detail himself, though. That's just what the talk is saying. At the moment, Myers has not wrapped his head around going to Detroit, so we wait. A second for Tyler Myers? Get him gone! And I think a lot of Canucks fans are kind of feeling the same way too. Wait a minute, the Red Wings are offering a second-round pick for Myers? Yeah, of course the Patrick Allvins and Jim Rutherfords of the world are going to go out there and say that they want to get that done. Myers, of course, as we had mentioned in yesterday's video, he has full trade protection, and that is his right. It's worth it for him. He likes it in Vancouver. He's a Vancouver guy, he's a family guy, he's got a young family, and we all understand that trade protection and no-move clauses are put into place for the security of the players. It's so that they cannot just get up and away moved wherever, whenever, when they have very important people in their lives that depend on them in these areas of North America. So for Tyler Myers, Even if he says no to going to Detroit and he stays put in Vancouver this season and next season, I don't think anybody is going to give him flack for that. As good or as bad as the second round pick that the Red Wings have could be, Myers has earned the right to choose. And that's exactly what he is going to do here. Although I will say, the fact that this is all out here in the media, that Rick Dhaliwal has gone out there and spoken about how Myers was held out of the lineup for trade reasons and how the Canucks made it public by not playing him yesterday, the fact that it is public almost feels like a negotiation tactic in a way. Like the Vancouver Canucks are trying to force Myers to make his choice. Hey, if you can't make your choice yet, we're going to have to sit you. And we're going to have to announce why we're sitting you. And everybody's going to know. And then if you make your choice afterwards, everyone's going to know that you either chose to stay or you chose to leave. It's very public now. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's something that I feel kind of aligns with the way Patrick Allvin and Jim Rutherford have done their business. Anywho, we have ourselves another update here from Thomas Drance. They mentioned that the Red Wings proactively called the Canucks to make the offer of a second-round pick. This wasn't a case of the Canucks aggressively shopping Myers. It just seems like Steve Yzerman likes this dude. Second-round pick on the table. Canucks are liking it. They're like, yes, okay, we can do this, but we need to ask Myers first. Let's dive into it from both points of views. So for Tyler Myers, if he's not crazy about going to Detroit, if it's been like multiple days, 2 days or whatever it is, 3 days now because we're on Thursday, if it's been 3 days and he still hasn't made his choice, I'm feeling like it's probably really, really close. Either that or it's leaning more towards no. I feel like if Myers had 3 days to think about it and inevitably come to terms with going over to Motown, he probably would have said yes by now. But hey, there's another week until the trade deadline, and this video is dangerous because Myers could say yes right now, and then the trade could be finalized. But Myers going over to Detroit, I think this will be a pretty drastic move for him and his folks. Not that Detroit's not a great place, but they love Vancouver. And that's been a very apparent element of their familial relationship here. Myers spends his summers in Kelowna. He is always in BC, Canadian dude, even though he was born in Texas. So there is a very sentimental element to this conversation. Secondly, getting a second-round pick for Tyler Myers, for a guy that Vancouver wasn't even shopping, I'd say is a pretty good business. Myers has slowly built his reputation back up ever since being that pylon he was at the beginning of his Canucks tenure, and I'd say that he's a pretty well-respected veteran presence for Vancouver Canucks fans. They understand the role that he has, they understand the quality that he brings. They understand that this guy will have his defensive gaffes, but he can be a pretty solid, physical, shot-blocking guy. And sometimes that's what you need, especially on a rebuilding team. Even if the team sucks, it was never an issue for Tyler Myers. It was always apparent that he wanted to stick around through the good and through the bad. Now, thirdly, when it comes to the Detroit Red Wings, this aligns with what exactly it's been mentioned that they need. Yes, they need help down the middle, but they could also use some extra right-handed support to ease the load off of Axel Sandin-Pellikka and off of Moritz Seider. I'm sorry, but Seider is the only guy that you can toss out there into every situation. ASP is a rookie, so you can't really do that with him. And then Jacob Bernard-Docker and Travis Hamonic are just replacement-level options. Travis Hamonic might not even be an NHL-caliber option. Grabbing a Tyler Myers, who can go out there and play upwards of 21 to 22 minutes a night on your team, is a really nice addition for the Detroit Red Wings. Him and Sherratt would be a nightmare to play against. It would be so difficult for playoff teams to try to bully their way to the front of the net when you've got four just behemoth guys standing in their way. Edvinsson, Seider, Sherratt, and Myers will be such a tall top four, a heavy top four, a big, strong, brick wall top four. And even though Tyler Myers is not a Mackenzie Weegar, he's not a Zach Whitecloud, he still brings a lot of qualities that I like, and I think Red Wings fans will inevitably come to like this guy too. So with that said, thoughts in the comment section below about the Tyler Myers to Detroit trade offer. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99, and bye.